I wanted to kick this series off with one of the biggest gaming franchises in modern history. I wanted something that would resonate with artists and gamers, a series that through its many sequels has helped shape what gaming is today. It has a lineage stretching back to the NES in the 80s and has won millions of fans the world over. I'm pretty sure you all know what game I'm talking about, and we're drawing the best in this series. Let's do it, guys. Let's draw The Legend of Castlevania 3. What's up, dudes? Today we're drawing Castlevania 3, which has always been one of my most cherished kind of first love type of games. The colorful graphics, the freaking spooky atmosphere, and an unforgettable soundtrack really kind of seared this game in my brain when I was a kid. And I feel like it's kind of shaped a lot of my artistic influences and tastes. The game itself has kind of been obliterated by time thanks to games like Castlevania Symphony of the Night and especially Super Castlevania 4, which basically improved on everything from like graphics to controls. And really, if you're going to go back and play any of these games in this series, that's probably honestly the one that you should go for.
Having said that, even with its mechanical limitations, there's something about 3 that just gets it right. It's hard to describe, but when a game is firing on all cylinders, you can feel the confidence the people who made it had in its execution. Every frame feels designed, every outcome predicted and intended. Which I know is generally how games are designed, but it sure as f don't always feel like it. Just watching the intro, listening to the amazing music, and taking in its haunting vibe, you get the sense that these people knew what they were doing, and more than that, you were in for a hell of a game. And it seems like a lot of the higher-ups at Konami agreed. Koji Igarashi, Symphony of the Night producer, cowboy hat enthusiast, and bona fide crazy person, cited Castlevania 3 as his favorite in many interviews, to the point that he even threw in the original cast as optional bosses in Symphony of the Night. You guys, I freaking love this so much. But of course, nostalgia plays a big part of this as well.
Just looking at the box brings me back to being like 5 years old, going to Target with my mom and dad, going up to that counter and asking the greasy piece of shit working there to give me a copy of Castlevania 3, please. Not to mention days where I stayed home sick, trying to beat whatever the heck level it was that had me stumped that week. This thing was literally the first game I ever bought, on the first console I ever owned, and I chose it the way every kid did before the internet. And it's some pretty freaking sick art if I do say so myself. There's a lot of color, great action, and a pretty cool composition, and elements that kind of tie into the game, which is actually kind of rare for box art back then. I mean, you know, for example, you got Trevor down here in the lower left of the screen, kind of moving your eye to the upper right, where the main focal point of the background is. Of course, starting lower left and moving to upper right being how you would typically progress through a level of the game. Plus, you got enemies that were actually in the game as well, like down here, you got a Skeletron, over on that side, you got a bat, and then up in the top, you got like a freaking owl or something. I don't know what the hell it is, but they were pain in the ass when you get to the 4th level. Plus, what I've just literally spent almost 30 years thinking with stairs on the lower corner of the box, I'm just now in 2020 realizing are giant gears, which comes from the clock tower, a pretty memorable level early on in the game. Plus, it doesn't have that weird over-polished look that some of the NES covers had at the time, and the painterliness of it kind of lends itself well to a more aesthetically pleasing version of the simple pixel art from the game. Not to mention, other Castlevania covers before this kind of came down with a bad case of plagiarism. This one stands out as a complete work unto itself, which is pretty great. Obviously, I'm sure as hell not going to be able to top a monster piece like this, but I still do really want to do an artistic tribute to a game that meant so much to me. So here we go! Here's a look at the first sketch, and I know exactly what you're thinking. You're thinking, Chucky, This bad boy's already done. Put it in a box, ship it out, move on. You freaking nailed it. But I think while we're here, we might as well go a bit further. The next one, I think you can get a little bit better of an idea what I'm going for. I got Trevor front and center on the bottom, kind of looking fierce, ready for action with his whip whipping into the front, leading your eye in. Next up top, you got his besties, Alucard and Sypha on either side, moving up to the castle, looming over in the background. Gotta have Alucard, of course, because he's a frickin' boss, and also the easiest way to cheese the game if you sucked at it as much as I did back in the day. And Sypha because, I mean, someone had to have their tits out. Anyway, these guys were my crew back in the day, and I'm sorry, Grant, you just didn't make the cut. Also, I just really had to get some stairs into this piece because these bastards kill you a lot more than Dracula ever does in the game. The next bit is around the time when I had to start nailing down what designs I was going to be using for each. You'd probably be saying to yourself, Chuck, why not just use the designs from Netflix's hot new Castlevania show? To which I would reply, what do you think, I'm trying to get popular around here? I wanted the designs to pay tribute to the original, but sprites tend to be short on details, so after, while not finding a whole lot, I stumbled upon it. It was perfect! It balanced the old and the new, and still somehow felt fresh and cool. It was just so Wait a minute. This is frickin' Simon from Castlevania 1. This isn't Trevor. Get the out of here, Simon. In the end, I basically took an amalgamation of a few sprites I liked and threw them together. Hopefully it's something that feels truthful to the original, but still interesting to look at today. Next we get some flat colors to really scare the biddies out of your titties. And then we move on to some of the first bit of coloring I did. Earlier on, I wanted to go for a kind of greenish, retro feeling background seen in some of the artwork at the time. But this piece kind of went on and ended up kind of shifting hues into this pretty pink nonsense that frankly had me wondering if I was smoking crack all the way at that point of the video. Now, of course, with most elements into play, the next bit here is just kind of a montage of me throwing my life away on a piece that no one likes but me. We get the finished piece here, and I have to say, I'm pretty proud of it. I feel like your eyes get led around the piece pretty effortlessly, and the pinkish colors of the sunset going into the blue sky, I feel like ties into the themes of the game pretty well. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and if you like, comment and subscribe below, let me know if you guys like any Castlevania games, or what you thought of the video in general.
Ooh, okay, thank you guys for giving this video a look. It was a bit of a process. I've used Adobe Premiere before, but not on anything like this, so this was for sure a learning experience. You probably noticed I haven't been around for a little bit, and this is literally what's been taking up the most of my time. That and this thing just went through a lot of different iterations and ideas before I landed on kind of what you're looking at right now anyway. Also, I should quickly apologize. I've got a cold and I'm recording this post-credits thing now while, yeah, not feeling that great. Also, I wanted to give a big thank you to Toxic Eternity for letting me use his Bloodlines cover in this video. Please check this guy out. He's so talented. I love his stuff. And of course, if you want to see more videos like this, please do show some love here on Patreon. I have prints for this piece on my imprint site, so check those out in the links below. Until then, you can catch me on Twitter, DeviantArt, Instagram, or you can come hang out on the Discord. Thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.